This is a best of 3, actually. This is the finals. So the new guys do have an opportunity to rally back and answer. We're in the lobby now, ready here.
I want to see what the new guys are going to do with their draft, because they almost did the exact same thing as their first game that we saw them in, except for we saw the DPS Lily instead of the Leoric. So let's see how they attempt this draft. Cursed Hollow, a much different dynamic than Infernal Shrines. So a lot more team fight oriented, I would have to say. There's also macro heroes that play a huge part on this map. Heroes like Dahaka, heroes like Abathur, Falstad, stuff like that. So we'll see what these teams end up first banning. Again, I've said it every time. I would look at either the globals or the shields, or even Malfurion or Arthas. Those are also strong options in the current meta.
Well, we've seen a lot of Ariel bans tonight as well. May see that trend continue. Globals are huge. As far as this map goes, though, I think this is one of the most strategically nuanced maps or battlegrounds available to Heroes of the Storm these days. Something I say often enough is that there are often 12 right answers to Heroes of the Storm. It's just a matter of how well you're able to execute the one you decide. And on Cursed Hollow, I feel like that jumps up to 20 plus. And we've seen instances where the new guys have struggled making snap decisions where they have multiple options available to them. And that could play huge implications into this.
I love this map. It's my favorite map by far. I think there's so many different win conditions that are possible, so many different styles of compositions that are possible. It's one of the most balanced maps in my opinion. I can't speak enough about it. I absolutely love it. We do see the Falstad ban coming out from Four Guys. Something we were talking about. The globals are huge on this map, so I do think that is a good idea. Four Guys is red side again, right?
Yes.
Okay, thought so. Looking at a response ban, do they ban the other global? Do they ban the Dahaka? Do they elect to leave the Zarya Tassadar open for that first pick? Do they look at a warrior? Do they look at a support? Is it the Abathur? Abathur off the first ban.
Sometimes you ban the meta, sometimes you ban the map, sometimes you ban the cheese. I feel like Abathur falls into the map and cheese category, but Arthas, no Frostmourne coming out today.
Zero hungers.
Zero hungers.
So let's see what Four Guys decide to pick up first. We have Malfurion open, Greymane. We've seen some teams be first picking, and both those heroes are fantastic here. Okay, do you want to know who we haven't seen yet and my mind is blown?
Kalamaka, tell us who we haven't seen.
Anub Arak.
Anub Arak.
One of my favorite heroes and an unbelievably strong hero. We haven't seen him all evening. Why is that?
Thinking emoji. You know what? You were absolutely right. You're going up against Kael'thas and stuff like that. I really like playing a new Arak.
Yeah, me too.
I think Cocoon is something of an underrated heroic. We see a lot of, what's the name of his other heroic? Locust Swarm.
Locust Swarm, yeah.
Out of players that pick up a new Arak. But to be honest, Kyle, I've never actually taken that heroic ever. I always go
Locust
for Cocoon.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Just lock
Cocoon's
somebody
busted.
up.
Yeah.
Right. You know how many times I see Malfurion step forward like it was a Twilight Dream, and I just cocoon him, and then his team tries to get him out, and then his team dies, or their main damage dealer, I just put them in a cocoon and they have no damage, and then they all die.
I think it gains increased value too in Hero League because people don't see it and they don't break their teammates out of it as fast. So I think it's absolutely fantastic in a competitive setting, but even just as good in Hero League. So the Lucio Vala picked up as a response to the Ariel first pick. Lauren, I think there's either A, something I'm missing in this amateur scene, or B, just a different meta entirely. Like Lucio Vala, Ariel as first picks. I haven't seen this sort of thing happen ever, I don't think.
It's very curious.
Yeah.
I mean, a first pick Ariel, it does invite you some options, because it's you can't take Gul'dan and Lunara and Vala after I first pick Ariel, but you've locked yourself into a very specific style of play. If that damage dealer that Ariel's relying on gets taken out for whatever reason, the team fight is pretty much over. Ariel's very unique in that way. So you're hedging your bets on a very specific approach. Or you can just go for Ariel Uther. Of course, the classic. Of course.
With a Li Ming? This is... Alright, okay, I'm in. You got me. I'm in.
What?
Uther, obviously, with his recent buffs, he is a very valuable hero, but Ariel, Uther, Li Ming in the 1-3. Very
Well,
interesting.
This is what you call your good old-fashioned Oral Hershiser curveball.
Let's go. I love this Dahaka ban. Let's go. Make sure you ban the Dahaka here. Absolutely.
Yep.
Every time.
No Dig Dug for Dahaka this game.
Not even one of them.
Taking on, not even a single Dig Dug. Poor dinosaur. I mean, Li Ming's a good hope generator for Ariel if they're able to position themselves properly. Hey, they listen. Hey,
Kinky ban. I like it.
Nice.
Nubarak off the table.
Nice.
I find Nubarak is fantastic into Lucio as well. It just works really, really well because you can pretty much time it. The web wrap is, I always call it web wrap. Cocoon is faster than the animation for a beat drop. So you can, the Abathur. So you can actually web or cocoon the beat drop, and it's just like insane value. Abathur Muradin. They're probably looking to last pick a Greymane. Vala, Greymane, Muradin, Lucio plus Abathur. Like that's a crazy comp.
It's really cool. I would not be entirely surprised to see Varian show up here on the back end of this. Taunt, Shield Breaker, very strong responses to what the members of the new guys have brought to the table so far in their composition. They do need a front line of some sort. They also need a solo laner, I feel. 30 seconds or less to figure out what they want to do.
They need aggression.
Where would you go with this, Colin?
They need aggression so bad. They need early game strength because Abathur is weak during the early game and he excels past the 10, right? So they need two heroes here that are actually able to snowball the early game. Like we need aggressive warriors for sure. Like an ETC would be a good idea because it's also a pseudo global. And then on top of the Li Ming, I want the Greymane right now because it's also a deny. Like they need to go ETC Greymane or they just don't have the early game. Like the Uther, Ariel, Li Ming, like they also need a backline auto attack steroid. Okay, so it's the Cassia. Johanna, I don't know about that one. Cassia instead of the Greymane, I can see it, but I think it needed to be the Greymane.
I like the Johanna pick here. And my reasoning for this is this, Colin.
Okay.
It's the judo move for the new guys' composition. Right now, you're relying on Vala to be the main damage dealer, and if Abathur goes for the clone like I suspect, then potentially two Valas. You blind them, and you also empower Cassia with those blinds?
Yep.
I like that.
I can see that. Can Cassia ever hit Vala?
I mean, if Stu Manchu continues to play Muradin the way he did last game, where he dives in deep, you almost have it all access past this back line. If Li Ming positions for flanks and pokes people down with orbs, there's one fewer body to consider, no defenders to worry about shooting around. Could happen.
He might pick up KT again though. Okay, whoa, what? Very interesting. Okay, so how is Four Guys going to play out the tributes? Are they going to look to stall? Because if they look to stall, Abathur is going to gain value, right? They have the only global, or TNG has the only global on the map. So like how are Four Guys going to play out these tributes? Are they going to just like walk in and force the fights? I think they can because they have the double support. They also have Li Ming to chunk people off of it. So I think I would love to see Four Guys just absolutely forcing all of these tributes, get that early game advantage, get those camps moving out as often as they can as well, and look to snowball as early as possible. Because if they don't, the Abathur is going to take over.
I agree with that assessment, man. I feel like the onus is on new guys to... Oh, wait, no.
Wait, it's switched over. Of course. Oh. I hate OBS. Okay, so everybody, it is switched over. TNG is on the red. Four Guys are in blue.
0. And then that's my bad. I don't know. All right. Got it updated. 1 4 Guys. Okay. So I feel like the onus is going to be on Four Guys to outplay their opponents. Because they're going to have to out macro. Or else I see them really struggling in these team fights with their composition. But we're going to see. Let's see.
I think that's absolutely right. Yeah, because the Abathur pick as well. So they have a very weak early game with the Varian plus Abathur. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, on the left, we have the members of 3 guys and 2 legends. If they win this, they win the best of 3. Jin is on Muradin, Elhaim's on Lucio, Talent's playing Abathur, LZ Gamer is on Varian, and Legend's going to round it out on Vala.
And on the right in red, backed against the wall, is TNG. We have Santa Claus on Cassia, Ataro on Li Ming, Grim on Uther, Phoenix on Ariel, and Stu Manchu playing that Johanna.
I just feel like new guys have the stronger composition in team fighting, and it comes down to the macro play of this Abathur.
That immediate rotation into the mid, and they take off the tower. Excellent call. It is getting responded by TNG on the bottom side, but 4 guys are looking at this bottom to see if they can pick off one of the members of TNG, and let's see if they can find it.
The danger ping, spider senses tingle enough for the members of the new guys to back away. Wave's gonna get cleared out. Standard progression after some initial siege aggression. Let's take a look at these talents though. We got Perfect Storm, Accelerando, Survival Instincts. Oh, the Tammet Strike goes in. Jin steps forward. Stormbolt afterwards. Full bar of hope gets spent on the members of new guys. Forces them back. Nice response.
And we've got Abathur in the top lane, solo laning against the Li Ming, if you will, looking to get his hats. Probably looking mid and in this 3-man on the bottom, just to pick up XP and push out these waves a little bit. But if left uncontested, Li Ming's going to be able to throw her spells, for free at these towers and doing quite a bit of damage.
Q build set up for Vala. I think they'll need that ability damage against all these blinds. The Tammet Strike goes in. Phoenix steps forward, gets the clap on a few members, gets themselves some hope, passes that on to Santa Claus. Both of these teams trading barbs, but the infinite sustain of Phoenix on Ariel is getting value.
Yeah, and so far, this early game is going exactly the way that 4 guys will want. Not a single kill coming out.
Ooh.
Did I just speak too soon?
The Kalamarka curse continues. Speaking too soon. First takedown goes over the way to new guys. It just looked like both teams were, all right, push all the chips in, all in. Let's see what happens. Turn, river, flop. And it just ends up going the way of new guys.
And a tower being taken out for TNG on the top side too. Honestly, half a level this early, not the end of the world. Again, they're very weak with the Varian plus Abathur, so yeah, not the end of the world. 2 minutes is hitting. I would have liked to see either of these or both of these teams look for their siege camps, and it looks like only TNG is doing that, so they will have the advantage in this first tribute.
Further investment in the Q build from Vala, and like I said earlier, I think that's going to be absolutely critical to the success of 3 guys and 2 legends. All
look
these
at
blinds.
top here.
In the top lane, Zaro gets sniffed out. Teleport is not going to be enough. Right as the tribute spawns, it's worth it to get that takedown and pretty much get this tribute for free, potentially.
This is actually huge. Like, against an Abathur, you don't want to give away these tributes like this. Grim is looking to position up, try to get a W to stall. And he does manage to stall there.
Well, Grim steps forward. Phoenix throws some of the hope down. Jin with the Abathur hat. We see shield wall getting value. Murden the target. He does have Doors Toss. Presumably the stun goes in. He's able to get out of there with a sliver of health. LG Gamer has another shield wall to sustain themselves. Legend, the potential target, hits the vault. The pin goes forward. Legend super low. The orb is a hair short. Chase continues. Jin, the next target. Dwarf Toss is out. And so far, 3 guys and 2 legends know how to rotate their health bars enough to get out of there unscathed.
See, that was super scary. Abathur did a great job soaking 2 lanes here. He's got the hat on mid plus body on top for the initial part there. But I definitely think the call for 4 guys was just to back off of that one and de-push this bottom lane, because it is getting quite a bit of pressure down on this bottom side. They did get beat in the skirmish there. Actually, Murden dwarf tossing forward. Jin lands the Stormbolt, but nothing to follow up. Cassie is doing crazy damage to Lauren.
Yeah, Cassie is definitely doing a good amount of work. Anytime we see Murden jump in there, my heart skips something of a beat, because it's like, you've just thrown away your escape on an engage, so if you don't get a value off of that in the first few seconds, you can end up waiting to respawn. Both of these teams now have level 7 Iron Forge momentum, double vault talent, but oh no, the further aggression with the shield and 3 members, they're looking to press their advantage. Santa Claus is able to get out for the moment. Armor goes in, the boop. Lucio steps forward, steps across that line, the habitual line stepper. 2 heroes down as the next tribute spawns.
Oh, wow. Like, they had the entire roster of TNG backed off so far there, and they had so much pressure, basically, from the mid because Li Ming had to walk mid in order to catch that wave because Abathur's doing such a great job. But 4 guys stepped up a little bit too far, and it cost them their lives, 2 of them. So that's another free tribute going over to TNG.
This
isn't how you want the early game to go at all when you're playing Abathur.
Not even a little bit. I mean, that was a full lag F moment from Lucio. Steps out there. I got the boot, guys. I got dead. I'm dead. Sorry about that. But 2 altars in the hands of the new guys. They're going to look to pressure this top fort. 1 tribute away from getting a curse. That would be the Avalanche, and I'm sure 3 guys and 2 legends would not want to deal with. So the next team fight has to go well.
We're seeing like a little bit of a maybe disjointed communication here. We have Lucio soloing the siege camp for 4 guys, while Varian just stayed top basically and stood by as the tower got taken, or sorry, the fort. So I think Abathur could have just soaked it with Hat, and Varian could have helped grab the camp. No, it's not the end of the world, but stuff like that's a little odd to see, but it's kind of cool to watch Lucio shooting his sound gun over and over at the siege giants.
Well, the next tribute will be on the right side of the map. It's a gamble to see if it will be in the top or right, if I'm not mistaken. But with heroics getting picked up for the new guys and a curse around the corner, this is going to be quite the pickle for 4 guys and a legend to do anything about this. The next tribute shows in the bottom part of the map. They're going to have to pull some magic out of their heads.
So that siege camp's going to get a little bit of value on the top side, so nice job there by 4 guys grabbing that camp. But they're positioning bottom as if they're going to try to stall it, and I don't know if they can even be here. Oh, the detainment strike goes out onto Jin, and he actually does manage to stall it with his thunderclap there.
I think they will be able to stall this long enough for level 10, but it might be too poked down by the time they really try to make a turn on this. LZ Gamer and Jin both are half melted down, but here's the turn. The taunt goes in. Jin has to force out the Avatar. Shield wall sustains LZ Gamer for the moment. Ball lightning bouncing around on the faces of 4 guys and a legend. Varian gets taken down. Curse gets picked up. Talion on the clone trying to get some kind of damage in on Li Ming, but this is a crazy avalanche in favor of new guys right now.
Yeah, and we saw the clone go out onto... Sorry, that was Muradin, was it not? Yeah. The clone onto Muradin and not on the Vala at that point. So TNG grouping on this bottom, and they're pushing out the fort plus the tower on the bottom side. Top side being completely equalized by Abathur. Abathur's fantastic into Curse for this reason. So top gaining very little value, and same with mid. But they're able to snowball a pretty heavy advantage on this bottom side.
Jin dares to step out there, gets a surprising amount of burst out. Atara already used to teleport. The chase is afterwards. The gamble's going to pay off, I feel. Sound barrier is a hair late. Li Ming gets taken down. Phoenix, potentially the next target. Crystal Aegis, do you have it? Has it for the moment. Alive for the moment. Keeps himself alive a hair afterwards, but the burst damage from Legend is there. 3 guys and 2 legends doing work.
Legend starting off that fight with the double Rain of Vengeance onto 2 targets. Or sorry, of course it was double. Insane value, like really excellent play there by the Vala. It completely snowballed the team fight in their advantage, and they're able to pick up 3 kills off of it. So excellent job by 4 guys.
I thought Jin was a little wild when they threw that Stormbolt out there. I was like, basic arithmetic alone stipulates that this might go poorly, but Abathur Hat shows up. Value to be had out of that engagement. Once that teleport from Li Ming was used, she was pretty much a free target. And that's a sound response from members of 3 guys and 2 legends.
With the Abathur mines on the top side too, they confirmed that 4 guys confirmed that TNG aren't doing the boss. They managed to snap do their boss, which is pushing bottom now, and it's actually pretty much even, in fact, ahead for 4 guys on the experience, and they have the Abathur, and it's 0-0 on tribute. So this is actually insane. That team fight gave them the exact advantage that they needed. We're 9 minutes into the game, pretty much equal on XP, and yeah, there's an Abathur comp on the for the blue team. So this is very, very good for the Abathur team.
Man, that boombox didn't do anything to anybody. Like, they didn't have to beat up the boombox like that. I'm a little upset. Level 13 is going to get picked up by 4 guys and a legend who are getting some value out of this Abathur-assisted bottom boss push. It should be able to go through this bottom fort without a rotation, at least. But Iron Skin has to get used on Stu Manchu. Dwarf Toss afterwards. Jin diving in deep. Has the Abathur Hat, has Avatar, breaks that out. Jin starts to back away. The Talion Muradin clone steps forward. Phoenix has hope. Orb goes in, hits Jin. Crazy team fight for no tribute.
I would love to see 4 guys rotate top and take this fort now, because them staying on the top side of this map meant that TNG either A, had to show, like, be in vision of them at all times, or else they could just grab the boss, or B, they would have had to just back off, go and grab the boss, like the bottom boss, because it was pushing in, and then that would have given 4 guys the opportunity to just take TNG's boss for free. So really good call by 4 guys to stay on the top side of the map there, but I think they could have taken the fort as well, because it was pushed up.
Yeah, they did have a pretty, you know, not the largest window, but a window where they had a tier advantage. They could definitely have gotten more. But they understand the value of what momentum can be had off of a lost team fight. That's why they're back in the driver's seat. And we see the new guys actually start the boss up again. The rotation is here. Santa Claus gets jumped on. Good amount of hope thrown on the Cassia. Sound Barrier, Divine Storm goes in long enough to get the takedown on Varian. Shield wall or not, Elheim's going to hit the wall and try to get the heck out of dodge. Nice amount of burst from new guys.
Ooh, with the Varian down, TNG actually does make the call to go for their boss, even with 4 guys positioned up like this.
The only poke they really have is Legends Q. The Detainment Strike goes in. Stu Manchu steps forward, gets stunned. The Sound Barrier does go out. Sustained for the moment. Murden Clone trying to do work on the back line. The stun goes in. That root is going to have some implications. It goes in on Cassius. Stu Manchu steps forward. I don't believe he got Iron Skin. Grim eating a bunch of damage. This Murden Clone doing work on the back line. So close to getting taken down there.
Oh my gosh, this team fight is just going back and forth with no deaths following up, but it was a successful stall. So no boss being taken. Really good call there by 4 guys. And now it looks like both teams are just positioning up to try to contest for this tribute. You know, the sustain healing coming out from Lucio. Looks like they will have the higher advantage here. Oh, the Detainment Strike goes out on a Murden. He absolutely gets destroyed.
Was that Murden or Malfurion? Because that health bar evaporates. Murden gets taken
Bloodbeard at this point.
He gets packaged up and sent back to base.
This is such a close game for having an Abathur comp. Usually when level 10 hits, or even 13, I guess we saw at that point, with the talent advantage going over to the Abathur team, usually you can snowball it into a substantial advantage, you know, like 16s to 14s and stuff like that. But just so much skirmishing. And TNG, again, they decide to go for their boss. They're getting it down pretty low. But 4 guys contesting here.
Murden is back up. If this does become a prolonged thing, though, the boss is going to get picked up. Now, Kyler. This boss means a lot more than just the boss. You ever have those Hero League games where like a team will just fight like 8 minutes over a single tribute or an altar on Towers of Doom? And it's just like, I will continue to walk in here and die for this altar.
I will fight you forever. I don't care.
It's on principle now. Like now it's personal. So to come away with this boss after a long team fight like that, that's a huge, you know, vote of confidence. That's how you get momentum and really have that drive to try to close out a game. So this is a huge feather in the cap for you guys right now.
Totally. They're just going to be looking at the towers, of course. Maybe a fight after, but 16s are actually coming in for 4 guys. So TNG has to back off right now. They cannot stay any longer. They have to back off.
Yeah, they've gotten... I like this choice a lot from them. They're showing some resolve, but the chase is there. The orb is there as well. Jin's like, I remember what happened last time I stepped out. The clone gets melted down.
They killed the Abathur clone. Literally just walk away now, and that's exactly what they're doing. Nice call by TNG. 16's coming in for 4 guys, so that's a scary situation to be in. And of course, they have positional advantage now to try to capture the tribute for themselves. However, 16's not available, but 4 guys not looking to contest, so that's a free tribute.
I'm a little surprised at this, but I think this is something of a lull in the action. I think with the top lane pushed up as much as it was, if the members of 3 guys and 2 legends stepped out there and they got wiped, that's at least the top keep. So I think they're just like, let's just wait for a moment. We got back into this game by displaying patience. Let's go back to that well.
Well, the 16s for both teams, they are having a little bit of skirmish on the bot mid side of this map. 4 guys managed to take the... Ooh.
Yeah, Santa Claus gets called out, and I don't think there's going to be enough sustain in the world for that. Or I was about to say, I might have been proven a little wrong. Sound Barrier does go out, though.
Uther on the bottom side, too.
Yeah, Uther definitely managed to get out of there. Taliant with the clone on the chase. They net the takedown. You get caught out of position half a second against a team like 4 guys and a legend. It's bad for business.
See, and like, I'm not sure why TNG positioned up so far. Just like, you know, I was a little bit of a loss for words, just because Uther was on the bottom side. So there's definitely a little bit of a miscommunication there, as you saw. Uther wasn't even part of that fight. He would have been able to use the Guardian, or sorry, he has Hand of Protection this time, but would have been able to cleanse out the Cassia. Probably would have lived if that was a 5-person or 5v5 there. But yeah, TNG getting caught out for pretty much one of the first times in the game.
Yeah, I mean, against a team like this, you get caught out even a little bit, it could be a pretty difficult time. Now, this is the definition of an even game, I'd say. Both teams have 2 tributes. Slight structural advantage for the members of the new guys, but if Abathur continues to hang out in the top lane, he'd have a thing or two to say about that.
Ooh.
This has been something of a seesaw battle. This boss is going to look the rock and roll on his bottom keep wall at least.
Lauren, this is going to be very, very difficult for TNG to come back from, just because the amount of pressure that this boss is going to put. It's not keep worthy, but now 4 guys are going to be able to look to either pressure this keep a little bit with damage. Oh, the Stormbolt goes out onto the onto Cassia, but no follow up there. They actually might stay for this keep and get it if they're able to pressure up enough.
They might get jebaited into it, though. Talent the clone is forward enough to secure that. I'll trade the keep. I'll trade my clone for the bottom keep. Elhaim, tempting fate, staying just outside of Uther's stun range, and you know the Paladin was looking to try to get in on that, because there would have been a Divine Storm and everything else afterwards.
See, I thought that was actually pretty greedy to stay bottom for the keep, but they saw something that I didn't at that point, and they stayed there and they took it, because they could have rotated mid for free and taken the fort there, which would have given them a bunch of experience as well. But the fact that they got away with that is going to snowball crazy advantage with Abathur.
Sometimes you just have to take those gambles. It got him value this time. The Detainment Strike is perfectly timed and is going to actually allow Grim to get this relatively uncontested. That was the Detainment Strike that could very well define this game. Level
so now
20 is
TNG
not
has
here.
Yeah, so 20's not here. TNG has to make a snap play here to try to snowball a crazy advantage. They are just 5-manning on this bottom side looking at this keep. Like, they absolutely have to force something here because 20s are going to be coming in for 4 guys. Abathur is pushing top. Like, they have a missed keep on bottom. Like, they have to either force a team fight before this 20 or get this keep. Look for something.
Damage Strike does miss there. Talent Clone does come out. Bottom keep is in jeopardy. Should go down by the time all this plays out. Jin at less than half health. Still has Avatar in his employ. Every second is another one ticking close to level 20 for the members of 3 guys and 2 legends. Tallying on the flank on the clone. Baits 4 members out to chase the clone, and that leaves someone out on the island. Stu Manchu does sustain for the moment. Ball Lightning goes out. Jin backs away, minimizing the value of that heroic. But levels 20s here, they're looking to turn. Or are they? Wait.
4 guys are actually getting massively chunked out. LZ Gamer on the front side of this fight. Vala actually manages to go down in that trade. Jin is looking very unhealthy too, alongside Elhaim and LZ Gamer, and they actually managed to get away. 2 keeps actually down. Meanwhile, Abathur is split pushing on this top side. Does TNG stay here and look for the end?
You've got two support healers that have both sustain and burst in the form of Uther and Vala, or Ariel. You got Vala, you don't have to worry about her. She's down. The shield's going to go down. And it does look like the new guys are looking to end this game right now. The orb goes in. LZ Gamer doing what they can. The stun goes in on Jin. Divine Storm not going to be available. Cassia gets catapulted out of the fight. As Haru gets the Crystal Aegis. Can they chase after her? Li Ming, the gamble's not paying off at all.
TNG on the need to escape this fight. I don't think they can actually turn this. LZ Gamer is incredibly low, but I don't think they get much more off of this. The top keep for TNG does go down, and this game has just completely opened up, Lauren.
This is the second time we've seen someone just say, all right, guys, this is YOLO and try to go for this core, and it doesn't exactly work out for him. Grim was able to hearth back, though. Ariel still getting chased down. Johanna's rallying back. Before this is all played out, the core should be saved from any percentage.
Oh, man.
But Abathur value nets the top keep in a win condition for the members.
And now 4 guys are looking at that top enemy boss, and if they manage to take it, that's going to be a pretty much free win. Hopefully TNG realizes it's happening before it's too late, and they look to at least throw some spells that way. But they're just looking at their hard camp here, so this is going to be the end of the game.
I don't think they understand what's happening at all or what was on the line. This is another instance where a lack of macro prowess and understanding could cost them the game. Phoenix goes in, gets taunted by Varian. Soundberry, a huge Divine Storm, though, has a word or two to say. Legend, next to no health, is going to get out of there just barely. Jin Dwarf tosses over the wall, but with low health bars, I don't think this game is over, Kyler.
Wait, TNG... Oh my gosh. Maybe I am cursed, because the only thing that 4 guys needed to do there was not fight, right? But then Muradin ends up dwarf tossing over the wall. TNG are probably going to be able to de-push this boss in time. Absolutely they are. Of course they are. So that was a missed end condition. This feels like Wreckful at BlizzCon. Feels bad.
It feels pretty bad if you're on the side of 4 guys and a legend. The boss doesn't even net percentage damage on the core. Now, the curse is picked up for 4 guys and a legend, but at best, that's just going to buy them time to push back this middle lane. that camp was ultimately picked up by the members of the New Guys, and it made its way across the entire map. So
Four Guys are going to do the same thing. Threaten their boss, which again is another end condition as long as they play it properly. And TNG are forced to stay on the top side because the immense amount of pressure coming in top with that Abathur. So they're basically put into the same, double checkmate situation because now they have to defend a second boss. But I don't think that Four Guys are going to make the same mistake again.
And New Guys do detective work a hair too late. The ball. Oh,
wait, they did
it. If you've seen Vala, I'm pretty sure the members of Four Guys and a Legend have been looking for her. Ball lightning goes out. The huge wave of force knocks Varian back long enough to get the takedown there. Elhaim trying to get out of there, rides the wall. The wave of force knocks them back.
They're looking at ending.
They're just gonna base race. They can't
back. They can't back at all.
They have to end.
Yep, absolutely. And Murden is also looking to end. Oh my gosh, the base race. I think TNG wins this one though, don't they?
Well, the shield's already down. 90%, 60%. Yeah, they should have.
Oh my gosh, what a wild game. The boss is also on it, but it's just not gonna be enough. TNG with the clutch play at the end there. Nice call. Four Guys, they missed that end opportunity, having Murden jump into the hard camp and then get detainment struck away. And then they ended up dying. Also, the blow-ups. Are you kidding me? That was hilarious. Vala got absolutely melted in that last fight.
This is Heroes Hype Tempo Storm series where the NA amateur scene is alive and well. That is one of the most exciting games of memory that I can think of. Like those team fights, that was crazy. It was like anytime someone gets caught out of position, they're gone on either team. The macro play, the decisions were there for both teams. I do think that the New Guys just managed to pull that game out through dynamic play and just like raw grit, because they didn't see that boss coming in the top lane, and it was pretty much at that point Four Guys in Legends game to lose. They get the boss. If they just wait for the boss to walk in, that's almost a guaranteed victory into the night.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Continue.
But to jump over that wall, like Murden was like, all right, guys, we got the boss, and now I want kills too. Oh, wait.
Rip.
Extended the game.
Rip, yeah. Okay, so there's two plays that TNG made that I thought were absolutely fantastic. First one was when they had their first curse, of course, and then they just completely forced on the bottom side. I remember when we were talking about it, I said that was pretty much the only thing they could do, is just force bottom, because they were going to lose the passive game, right? And then they take the keep. They actually managed to get, was it 1 or 2 kills? And then they take the mid keep as well. And then they like flirt with the idea of ending, but then back off. And then there's like that wild 3v3 skirmish, right? So that was a fantastic play, fantastic shot call actually from TNG. And then the second one was that snap call to end the game, because honestly, they were faced with 2 decisions. It was either back, even though that was the wrong call, but in the heat of the moment, that's still an option, right? Or force on core, and they chose force on core, and I'm very stoked that they did it, because going to game 3.
We saw some growth and development out of this team tonight, because first game, they were in an interesting spot where they were under pressure. They had some decisions to make. They try to go for the bottom keep, doesn't pay off. It stops them from getting to level 20, costs them the game. They get put in a very similar pickle here, where it's like, we got to make a decision, and we can't just sit around and wait. Like, if they waited even, I'd say, 5 seconds to really decide what they wanted to do,
would have been the game.
Would have been the game. So
the snap call? Yep.
For the shot caller to be like, all right, we got Vala. We bank shot it Varian back into us. We get the takedown there. Hey, how about we just force game? Right, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. So nicely done.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the snap decision making, because you're absolutely right. 3-4 seconds that go by, all of the shield for TNG was down at that point, and they had a boss plus the Murden plus 2 creep waves crashing in, plus how many locusts from Abathur. Like, that was a really scary moment for TNG, and they made the right call. So I'm super stoked and good on them. I'm excited for the next game.
Good on ya.
Yeah.
So
on you, mate.
Last week, Players Unknown, who were not in the tournament tonight, didn't drop a game, and they were together for 2 days. So I've just heard from Phoenix, and she said today's their second day as a team. Which adds context, because we saw some of the decision-making missteps in the Infernal Shrines game And
Mhm.
and that speaks to a team that hasn't had time to develop that synergy. And when you've had one business day
One business day,
to
nice
to
meme.
play at this caliber, I get it now. But
Yeah,
to collect yourself and rally to force out game three, it's impressive. It's impressive to see the. I get why they're called the new guys. They are quite literally the new guys.
yeah. And honestly, playing against an Abathur comp on Cursed Hollow, like that's not easy to do, right?
No,
No.
as it
Um,
happens, it's not.
Want to make one more comment though. Yeah, it's definitely not. Um, I wanted to see the Greymane last pick from Four Guys. Like I
Oh,
wasn't sure about the Varian. Like, it gained some value that game, but I think the Greymane would have just been so much stronger. The clone on Greymane, like Vala couldn't step up at all if that were the case. Um, yeah. Or sorry, no, Vala was on Four Guys. Sorry.
Cassia.
Yeah, Cassia. I called her Vala during the game too. She just like looks like it to me for some reason. I'm not used to talking about Cassia, but she wouldn't have been able to step up like at all. And Greymane, basically all of his damage, aside from his auto attacks, are spell damage. So the physical armor is fairly irrelevant. Well, and yeah, his auto attacks are huge in Worgen form too. But I definitely would have liked to see that, or maybe even the Zeratul.
Yeah.
Because Zeratul plus Abathur is insane on that map, and he's like almost entirely spell damage.
I mean, that's a really good point because the clones were pretty much, it was like Murden gets copied and then Murden kind of
Yeah,
dives the back line. We saw some Vala clones later on, but if that was two Zeratuls, Li Ming feels very concerned.
yeah.
Like at pretty
Actually,
much
yeah.
every stage of the game.
Absolutely. It was the Zeratul pick, not the Greymane. I'm wrong. Definitely Zeratul. Yep.
All right, jumping into the lobby now. This is it. This is gonna be it for sure.